Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's card I'm going to use some, basically it's a Cricut cut where we've got the piece that cuts out the purple piece, and we've also got a main card panel, which is the one with all the detail on it with the little chicks and the eggs, and the Happy Easter. And it's at the moment, if you're watching this and whatever date this goes up, it's a free cut file in Cricut Design Space. So if you have Cricut Design Space and you get to use this round about this time, I don't know when you're going to be watching this, it's a free cut file on there. So on the piece that I decided to do in a purple, I'm using the I think this is Gina K cardstock, and then I have a Highland Heather Stampin' Up ink that I've just gone from the bottom, darker at the bottom and then fading out towards the top, and it gives that sort of ombre look without having to do an ombre look, all the way on like a piece of white cardstock. So starting with a piece of coloured cardstock is always a good thing as well. Just gives you a totally different look, and it's quite cool to do. And then I've used one of Tim Holtz stencils. This is one of the newer ones I've bought, and I'm doing the same sort of thing. So no, it doesn't fit all the way across, but you're not really going to see that. But again, I started sort of darker in the bottom and then faded up towards the top, and it just gives this extra texture to sort of cards that you might have on like Design Space and that, where they are sort of ready to go, very quick and easy. This could have taken me 5 minutes to do, but I wanted to add some more to it, and I think this is a good way to do that, is to add some inks, to add some texture with stencils, or you know, anything like that in the background. You could have stamped texture in the background, anything. And I think it just gives it a nice look. So, and just sort of like, it zhuzhes it up. Is that the right word? Makes it a bit more fancy. And then for the yellow part, this is, I think this is called Sticky Note cardstock from Lawn Fawn. And it's a very similar colour. It's not the same colour, but I'm using the So Saffron Stampin' Up ink to, again, just highlight some areas. I'm not being careful about which way the light's coming in or going out or any of that. Just chucking some ink on there, and especially on my chicks as well, because they're quite, although they're quite little, they are still a big part of that front piece in like solid cardstock area. So now what I'm going to do is the Cricut does score, and unfortunately since I've scored this one and did one of the other videos, my scoring tool on there keeps popping up. So if anybody has any tricks and tips on that, please let me know. Every time it goes to score, it just pops up. No idea why. But I just, the score line that was there was fine, but I wanted to just reinforce that. So I just made it a bit deeper so that it was easier to score and fold once I get this on. And then I thought the easiest thing was to put some wet adhesive around the edges and over the sort of more solid areas of the images, so that I could get the purple panel stuck on there, and it's just going on flat. So this is also going to mail really easily, but don't forget you can add all sorts of other bits to it as well on the when we get there. I don't think I do in the end on this one, but I wanted to keep this quite simple for you guys, but you can add as much as you want. So just make sure that you've got your panel the right way up. If there is a right and a wrong, you know, a top and a bottom, make sure you stick it on there the right way. And then there's the front of the card, basically. And it's ready to go. So when it comes to scoring, what I should have also done, and I do have to go back and add a bit more glue to the top section, because where the score line is, there's a very narrow area there. So I will have to you know, add some extra adhesive there afterwards, because as I bend there, it wants to bend the frame of the main image rather than on the score line. So you can see it sort of lifts a little bit there, but it wasn't an issue. I just added some more glue and then put a load of acrylic blocks on top of it to weight it down. But that's pretty much it. That's it. It's so simple, and this is where I think it's great if you have some cartridges that you go through and they've got cards on them. There's another one coming up this week that I'm going to use just because cards, and that's sort of pre-designed card, so you just put all the elements together and make a card, but you can add so much to it to make it even more than what it is originally. So they always start out really, really cute, but honestly, add a bit of ink, add a bit of texture with stencils and things like that. You can add gems and sequences and all sorts of other things to it as well, and it just brings that card to life. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.